Okay, now the Bodhisattva Garland. Still we are on the first stanza. On second line, right? Thoroughly relinquish sloth, mental dullness, and laziness. So like a sloth means sleep, right? Last time we talked the sleep, mental dullness, and laziness. Okay. So again, here what we're talking is in order to doing practice, we must clear the doubt, and also we must overcome by laziness. Otherwise, you will not have any chance to do practice, or nothing to encourage you to practice. If not, then still remaining the same as in some samsara or circle existence, right? Or another way say, we'll keep circling with suffering. So therefore, overcome by suffering must do to practice, and then doing practice to learn more to idea. Therefore, must clear the doubt, and then also just knowing is not enough, or do practice, and then doing practice. The most the obstacle is the laziness, right? So, and then the laziness comes from sleep and mental dullness, mental dullness. So therefore, last time we talked about that. So today, a little bit talks about how we define the sleep actually, right? So sleep is sleep itself. Regarding the Buddhism, sleep itself is one of the mental mental factor, as generally saying that one of the subconsciousness, right? Or it is mental factor, and both like a dullness and laziness as well. Those are the mental factor regarding Buddhism. So this mental factor, but also we call the secondary mental factor. They are the principal and secondary, right? The secondary mental factor, and even it's mental factor, but it's nothing itself. Is not the virtues deed. It's not the non-virtues. It's not either like both of those, right? So, but we can make it virtues, or sometimes it goes with the non-virtues. So sleep, when we describe the sleep, here say all this mind withdrawn inside, and without control. So that's the kind of things generally defining sleep means, right? Do you have any definition, Westin, the sleep definition?
Like sleep, or like the text is like sleep, like
this is sloth, not it's sleep. It is sleep, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything defining usually? Yeah. It cannot say unconscious because we have a dream, right? We cannot say it's unconscious. So
the sense faculties are disabled. So the hearing, smell, taste, touch are shut down. So there's the absence of some of the physical senses.
Yeah, it is shutting down. When we sleep, it's a five sense consciousness. Everything is most of thoughts within drones inside, or kind of like not function at all, right? At sleep time. So, but we must add to here, say, without control, uncontrolled. This is saying uncontrolled, you can use, okay. Yeah, uncontrollably. It's just uncontrollably, it's drawn inside all the consciousness. That's kind of sleep. But why we saying the uncontrolled? Because some some case there, let's say actual unconscious. What was it? We'll say, okay, here, I think you guys not familiar. This is that term from Buddhism that's saying, okay, shamatha, you know, right? You all know, single pointed mind, shamatha, karma abiding. So karma abiding is also drawing in with all the mind is drawn inside, because the only single mind, one consciousness functioned at the moment, all the five senses shut down, right? Karma abiding time. So, but this shutting down is with control, right? So you did with control because you intently meditate on karma abiding, and then slowly, once it arises, when attend that karma abiding, then all the five senses blocked. So that's you did intently, therefore we say it control. So when we give definition to sleep, uncontrolled, because we have to cut, this is not sleep. This is still all the minds drawn inside, but it's not sleep because you did intently with control. So, and then it is not really say unconscious. Also, we said the mind droning inside, right? The mind droning inside, it's like I say, unconscious accident, and or like someone hits like a stake in your head and you like you become unconscious, right? That's not really droning inside the mind, stopping function at the moment. So and also knowing that unconscious is not sleep, it's not droning mind inside, it's just function, stop the function, right? So therefore give the definition to the sleep because of saying this droning inside, and also saying is like a uncontrolled droning inside. So and then also it's a part of the ignorance. The sleep is, we count it the part of the ignorance, right? It itself is not ignorance. The sleep itself is not ignorance, but it's part of the ignorance. What it means, like it's close to ignorance, right? Because when you sleep and you nothing knows, and then also the sleep mind brings you more that dullness, and then also it's cause you have more like a laziness. That's that we call the ignorance, right? Clear? Okay, so now this is how we give definition. Okay, so definitions say droning mind inside without control, and it's part of the ignorance, and also it's fundamental of losing everything. That's kind of things.
You say everything.
The fundamental for losing the virtues deeds. So this is we give definition. Okay, so because of this, I already said it. Why we say droning mind and why we call uncontrolled, because of some other mind there, which is similar with the sleep, but it's not sleep, right? It's clear. And then second, it's a mental dullness. The mental dullness is also same. It's part of the ignorance, and it's more we call disturbing mind. This is meant the mind that it's mental state, but it's more disturbing mind that not allow you do something. That's how we define what we call mental dullness. Okay. So this is, I forgot to cover last time. And then if laziness is caused by sleepy and mental dullness, but the sleep is caused by what? So what is the cause of sleep? Tired, right? And then also your body's weak. And is this count like a very hard time, summertime?
External conditions, weather.
Yeah, very hard, then minds become more sleep, isn't it? That is counted also the cause. And they eat a lot, overeat. It is also counted the cause of sleepy. And then call daydream. There's I don't know. The distraction is not really cause of sleepy. Distraction is awake you, right? It's more like you have become a fresh distraction in it, isn't it? So here said
There's like a certain kind of distraction that keeps you awake, but there's other kinds of distraction that cause sleep. So the first example that I can think of is watching TV.
Yeah.
That
If something is very boring.
Yeah.
Then you want to sleep.
The boring,
It's
yeah.
like you're distracted, but you're not engaged. I mean, sometimes when you're distracted, you're thinking about the distractions. But something like TV or just daydreaming out the window, you're not really engaged. You are experiencing a distraction, but you're not engaged in it. It just keeps your eyes busy, but your brain just.
Yeah, that's kind of distraction. Yeah, the distraction, yes, that's kind of means. And also, I don't know, I think it's okay to say it because good to know. It's also mentioning here the over-sexualing is also the cause for sleep. Is this happening? Yeah, so that's a cause for sleep. That's it says takes your energy, right? Those are actually the cause for sleep. As we know the cause for sleep, then how we need to control for that, right? If you want to control the sleep, then we must control the cause of sleep. This is how we need to go. Okay, so this is the done. Now today our main topic is talks the laziness and then joyful perseverance. Now go back to laziness again. So do we really need the definition for laziness?
Can we just go back to mental illness for a second?
What?
So when you said it's a disturbing mind that does not allow you to do something, do you mean like do something more specifically, like take mental or physical actions?
The same is like what I mentioned, fundamental for to disturbing for doing good deeds, virtuous deeds. Yeah.
So good deeds.
Yeah. Okay. So for us, laziness again, regarding Buddhism, laziness same again. One is the mental factor and secondary mind, and also so here everything more describe the physic, right? When we talk about compassion, it goes for the action, and when we talk about feeling or angry, they sometimes say, "Oh yeah, that's angry is not really defined as a mental. Angry is defined as some kind of physic. Most of things physic, even like a sleep, dullness, laziness. How you define laziness? Lazy. I can go with the physic things or what?
I'd say it could be both. I'd say it's just a lack of effort, both mentally and physically, to like engage in something, you don't really have any motivation or desire to actually.
This is here many times confusing. Always mixing the result and cause. Like I said, don't want to do anything. It's actually result of sleepy or result of lazy, right? You have a lazy because of that you're not doing anything, right? So yeah, here many times they always mixing the cause and result, action and the cause of actions. So what we're thinking here that yes, laziness is cause and not doing anything. We don't want to do anything. This is part of the result, just you being nothing to doing anything, right? So this action actually is result, but because of laziness that you do have a mind that don't want to do anything. So anyhow, so again, it's when we define the laziness, they're saying it is the part of the ignorance, right? And then okay. Laziness, joyful perseverance. We say laziness is not exactly opposite of joyful perseverance, right? Actually, the joyful perseverance, joyful effort is the antidote for laziness. That's generally we say it, right? But when we look at the definition of joyful effort, it's saying you're having enthusiastic to do virtues. Virtues did enthusiastic for virtue. That's the joyful effort. It's exactly opposite. The laziness is exactly opposite. Then we might say is not enthusiastic to do virtue deeds. That's what we must say, right? So if so, then yeah, generally, yeah, in general, any kind of laziness, we count it like a 3-4 different type of laziness. So all the laziness is, yeah, I can say it's opposite of joyful effort. As well as opposite of joyful effort, then we must say it's a lack of having enthusiastic for what called virtues did. Good morning. Okay, so clear. The definition of laziness is lack of having enthusiastic for virtues did.
Can I ask a question, Geshe?
Or any
on this definition of laziness. So I think the English definition is similar because it's not being willing to put effort into something. But when we get into Tibetan or Buddhist study of laziness, in the study of the 5, I don't know what you want to call them, but the 5 obstacles to meditation or the 5 faults in meditation, we will differentiate between laziness which is the first fault of meditation, and laxity, which is like part of laxity and excitement, is the third fault of meditation. So it's kind of interesting that laziness is not the same as laxity when talking about the 5 faults of meditation. And quite often I think we say, well, if you're lazy, it means you won't do the meditation, or you won't get out of bed, or you won't get onto the cushion, or you won't do your practice. It's different a little bit than laxity, which is, oh, you're trying to do your practice, but you're dull. Your mind is dull or not clear or not vivid, maybe. Or your practice is not intense, or your intention is not, your intention is not enthusiastic or something like that, So I think there's a slight difference. It is a lack of effort, but and then the second question I have is this, you said it's a cause more than a physical action. So I think it's interesting to really think deeply about that. What's the difference between a cause and an action? So obviously a cause will cause us to not take action or to take action. I just find this very interesting. Maybe you want to talk a little bit about the difference between laziness and laxity in this definition.
Laxity, what's in Tibetan? Do you know the laxity? Laxity is different than mental dullness.
I think it's the same. I don't know the word in Tibetan, I'm sorry, but I think it's the third fault of meditation. It's laziness, forgetting the instruction, and then laxity.
Oh, no,
or
big
effort,
different. This is big different.
Okay.
Because
Well,
you already counted separate. Laxity is different than laziness.
Yes, but
Then
it seems similar.
But no,
it seems,
it's not similar.
But there's less effort, or there's less joyful effort in laxity than in because it's dullness, right?
Laxity is that mind that something you want to do it, but because of that, the fuzzy mind not allow you do this. So that laxity, right? It is different way to disturbing to do something good. So
well, how is that different than laziness? Because laziness is not wanting to put the effort into doing something.
Okay, let me explain whole laziness. Then at the end, you can ask question.
Okay.
Let you hear it, all the part of the explanation of laziness, then ask question.
Thank you.
So your second one is what saying is what is second question?
I think the difference between action, you mentioned
the
difference between action and
motivation.
So laziness is not action, you said. And so I'm curious about that, because laziness is you don't want to take action, virtuous or otherwise, but in this case, virtuous action. It's interesting because
that's here the action refers with the physical action, right? So this is the most people confuse. So it's simple way say, do you see the action and intention is different? If you see the intention and action is different, then laziness comes before intentions. You don't want to do anything because of laziness. You want to fight because of anger, something like that, right? So those mental afflictions are the cause of that or another way to say mental afflictions, different way to arises intention, that intention led to actions. So action comes after intention, therefore it will be the result of laziness, because the intentions like driven by laziness.
So this is a very difficult concept, because mental actions, right? It may be the mental action of ignorance. Is laziness and ignorance? No, laziness is an intention that leads us to not want to do the mental action of
Richard,
whatever.
No, laziness is not the intention.
No.
Angry is not the intention. Attachment is not the intention. They lead us. They have their own specific characteristic of mind. The mind which have their own characteristic, right? All this defilement minds.
That's why you call it a secondary.
But mind cause you have intention, that brings you different intention, you know, like say angry, let you have intention to fight or say something bad.
Or it could be
action.
Or it could be a mental action, right? It could be a mental intention. It doesn't have to be a physical action that it leads to, correct? It could be a mental action, just having ill will, maybe. Anger could lead to ill will, perhaps, right? Which is a mental action.
Reflections are, yes, we can say mental actions. I said clearly, here people are having confused the physical action and mental actions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's why I said it.
Oh, thank you very much, Geshe. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. So this is the definition of laziness. We just have a lack of enthusiastic or doing anything, right? So, but if you know more that how many different type of laziness there, then you can see it's not always that don't want to do it, right? Some laziness there, you really effortlessly doing that. So okay. The laziness diligence, it's a for virtues. What is contradictory to this to explain is laziness changing to the bad? And yeah, in Shantideva text there are counted 3, right? They say what my eyes, what is contradictory to the that joyful effort to explain its laziness, which is means clinging to the bad, and sloth and self disparagement. That's 3 things said it. Clinging to the bad actions, it means like one of laziness we counted here, not really the bad actions. We say better that clinging on the meaningless actions. That's the laziness. But it could be that moment you have very enthusiastically doing it, that meaningless things, right? But still we counted laziness because that disturbed you to doing some kind of virtuous actions. So this is the first laziness, what we counted, clinging to the meaningless, right? And that's one laziness. And then another laziness is here's a sloth, which just means like a which generally we all know that laziness, which you don't want to do anything, right? So that laziness. And then the third laziness here is the laziness of postponing, right? So that I cannot do right now, I'm not doing right now, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it day after, I do next year. That's we counted laziness. And then the laziness of discouragement. So that means like you looking yourself and then say this subject is too big, I cannot do it, and this is too profound, I cannot do it. And so just kind of like discouraging yourself, right? Because of you seeing you don't have any enough capable to doing this. So therefore thinking, oh yeah, I cannot go to school now, I cannot learn now. So this is laziness. So even like a senior the person, right, they are saying I cannot learn because of my age. We count it like a laziness of discouragement. So there are 4 laziness, right? Laziness, which is clinging to meaningless, and then also laziness, the postponing laziness, the postponing your all these actions, and then also the laziness of discouragement, yourself, and then laziness of the like a sloth, that general thing knows, right? There's 4 type of laziness. So, but most of things know by only one, right? I think the everyone will be not agree that first laziness, which we count in the clinging on that what call the meaningless things, right? That everyone not agree that. So because it has a depending, right? It's connected with some kind of individual that someone need to be do some good deeds, always engage practice, then it's becoming laziness. So which is clinging to the bad meaningless deeds, right? Say yeah, you want to go party or you want to go meditation class, and immediately comes mind that, oh, I want to go party because you enjoy there, right? So because that the going to party is disturbing you to meditation, right? So and then compare these two. The going to party, it says you have a few hours enjoyment. Meditation, it might brings you longest enjoyment. So therefore you give up for something small things. So therefore it's laziness, right? Or you're too much clinging on these worldly activities, or those are also counted as laziness. Regarding Buddhism, I think this laziness is only counted by Buddhist, no one else, right? So yeah. But if we look at that clinging to the meaningless, like I said, idle gossip, right? So they're enjoying it because they're not counted this is laziness, because they have some kind of enjoy and they bring some happy, but same time it's they waste all their time. They never notice that, right? They waste it. They keep talk, then they say, oh yeah, I have to do something, I forget to do it, now too late to do it. Right? So even our daily job, it's really disturbed us to complete our regular daily jobs because of the idle gossip, right? So idle gossip, you can count it as like a laziness which is clinging on meaningless, right? And there are so many things there, right? So because our attachment and our desire always goes to wrong direction. Wrong direction means like a wrong direction from your the main wishes, or wrong direction from your main aspirations, that right? So we wish that being happy, and then because of that we go we have desire to do something else, right? Though all this which you have a desire for to bringing happy, that when Buddhist way to look at it, not really see the exactly brings you happy. Anything that we have a desire to do bring happy, it's not exactly brings happy. Therefore, when you're listening to Buddhist idea to bringing happy, always you might find that opposite of your desire, right? So exactly opposite of your desire. So that's just like a instead of like denying immediately, it's good to take time and think and experiment, right? Experimental, to do more examining. This is good to do it. So so however, so this is laziness, we counted as for example idle gossip, which is clinging on meaningless. And then okay, then also discouragement, that's we count as also laziness. because could be that you not realize your all potentials, or you don't know what you have of qualities, right? So therefore, you are just describing based on your daily thoughts and based on your moments edge knowledge, saying I cannot do this, I cannot do that. But we don't believe on it. In general, say we don't believe on it, that you cannot do it. So everything is possible if you have like a joyful effort, right? So sometimes people might discouragement because they think, oh, I'm too much dull faculties. And then I'm lack of having intelligence. Because I do not know easily. I cannot catch up things easily. It takes time. Those things discouraging them, right? So who asked me last time? Someone asked, because one of Sunday class, I mentioned that, yeah, when we're beginning the Buddhist, like a doubt, it is a doubt, lingering doubt. Oh yeah, the cause of doubt. When I talk, the cause of doubt is, one of the cause of doubt is dull faculties, right? The dull faculties is a cause of doubt. And they, I don't know, I forget the person. He might think only that dull faculty never ever overcome the doubts because of his cause. He think that. And then also he thinks who can overcome by doubt? Only intelligence. That's what they think is. But my answer was, you know, when we were young, we studying the turtles and rabbit, right? So yeah, look at the rabbit is very fast, but finally the turtle is win, right? Because of joyful effort. As well as you have an interesting and joyful effort, you can cover everything. That's we believe it. That's really we believe it. Therefore, even dull faculties, it's counted as cause for having more doubt. It means the person can be overcome by that doubt. It means not that the person should be always person never overcome by doubt. Not that saying that, right? Person could be overcome by doubt as well as they have a joyful effort. So but intelligent and joyful effort, if we choose, then we must choose the joyful effort. Because intelligence is not guaranteed. So intelligence just having sharp mind, that's it. If we not use that sharp mind, what we do? If we use wrong for sharp minds, what we do? Do nothing, right? So, but joyful effort, it's definitely bring you some result. It's reliable, and intelligence is not reliable, right? So therefore, part of the discouraging yourself, thinking that I'm lack of intelligence, I'm not sharp mind, then it might wrong. It might wrong because everything is depend on joyful effort. So the Rinpoche always telling me when I was young, we have to memorize a lot of texts. It's part of he encouraging me. He's saying, you can do it because you're a sharp mind. You can do it because look at me. Then he's saying, I'm very dull minds because things, it takes time to get understand, takes time for memorize, and it takes time for everything's, it's very slow goes. That's the Rinpoche said. But still, I learn a lot. It is true. It is true. So, and then the many similar actually in our monastery, the kids who have a very dull faculties, and the final they become a great Geshe, right? The great Geshe, because everything is depend on your effort and interesting actually. So, and then you can learn everything, or you can cover everything, you can attend everything. So, and plus, we talk the capacity of mind, right? And we talks about human leisure and opportunity, right? So, and then more, if you look at the capacity of mind, the capacity of mind is countless GB. Like so far, the 2 terabyte, 3 terabyte, the hard drive that we counted, the mind capacity is limitless. So you can collect it, every information as much as you want within your mind. And also it has a capable for remaining because of memory strong, right? So that not only that intelligence, every human being has that. But compared to animal beings, in generally, because of their part of the body and nerve system, their mind cannot be that much functional as human being does, right? So, but general human being have an equal, their mind capacity is limitless. And then everything is dependent, joyful, and interesting. So therefore, nothing can disturb you if you have an interesting. You can gain everything, or you can overcome everything. You can learn everything. So you can change. Dual faculties means not always remaining as dual faculty. We can change the dual faculty. So if dual faculties remaining as a dual faculties, and then keep discouraging, means it's getting more worse actually, right? That if you keep discouraging yourself that I cannot do this, I cannot do that, it's more getting more worse. So you're just pushing yourself. Even I dual faculty, I can do everything. Who does, like intelligent people? So same, I can do it. So definitely can do it. That's our belief. So this is my, also I have a strong belief on it. I strong have a belief on it. Yeah.
I feel like what you're saying is very true, and it's such a sharp contrast, for example, to the human body, which has so many limits. It can only go so fast, it can only jump so high, however hard you try. Such a contrast to the human mind, which, like you say, is limitless.
Yeah, yeah.
The body has so many limitations.
Yeah. So the limitation regarding
anything, there's only this fast a human being can run.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, the high jump has always limited. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, mind capacity is that not really limited. It's limitless. So if I say one monk can memorize 3,000 pages, difficult to trust, right? But a lot of there in our monastery, because this is way do we study it. And then because you guys are not familiar with it, memorizing things, therefore difficult to believe it. But it is true that one monk can be memorized 1,000 pages. And then it's not just memorizing it, they are remaining, they strongly recollected this 1,000 pages. Because they recite the 1,000 pages without seeing text, thoroughly from beginning to end, right? So that is possible. And also I have a student there, there are two of them as brother, and not the same parent, but one of them is very sharp mind, right? So look at here and then 5 minutes catch it up mind. So, but other ones, it takes a lot of time to memorize. But right now, who is taking a lot of time is more knowledgeable. The other one is nothing. He's serving the monastery now. He working. Who is not studying well, they have to serve monastery, right? He's now working for monastery. Other ones almost becoming Geshe. Who is the dolls, right? It really takes time for understanding and catching up. So it become a Geshe, and other ones, it's even sharp mind. He just walked, nothing to do it, nothing learn anything. So it's West. He's the only intelligent. The part of what I'm saying, that, right? So discouragement yourself is any cause that you think discouragement. But generally, they are nothing that we cannot do it. Right? Doesn't matter who, young or like the senior or dull faculties or sharp mind, everything. Everyone can do equal everything. So. So because of this, that's the most of people who I have experienced that they discourage us because of that. And some have a discouragement because of age. Some say, oh, I cannot do it because of age. So most of them, they are lack of intelligence. They think it, but not really, right? And then even they are having lack of intelligence, they can learn everything. So therefore, anyhow, I'm trying to explain here part of the laziness, which is discouragement, and then it comes that way. The how. So okay, and then the worst laziness is within these four. I think worst laziness is I'm talking regarding our goal is happiness. Okay, if our goal is happiness, then all this four laziness is disturbed to you to have this happiness. And then most of the disturbing within these four is the clinging on meaningless and that postponing things. The postponing, I do tomorrow or next and next. Okay, so this is the how many different type of laziness. And then again, there were additional cause of laziness. So
Geshe, could I ask a question before you change from this?
sure.
Did you describe sloth, or am I just of dull faculties and I didn't understand what you meant? But I didn't understand the sloth, the differentiate. Which category is sloth? Is that the fourth category?
You
Sloth?
don't understand dull faculties?
No, sloth is dull faculty?
Sloth is
No.
sleep. You said it's
Oh, sloth is sleep.
kind of a
Yeah.
mistranslation here.
Oh, I'm very sorry. Thank you very much.
Sloth is mind that more fuzzying, right? And then the mind that not see everything clear. That's a sloth, isn't it?
That was your describing. Sloth has an element of laziness in it. Okay, so maybe
Do you have it?
yeah, sloth does have an element of laziness.
I think
you were describing laxity when you were using
Mhm.
terms, but specifically, like in the previous class, sloth was kind of like a misnomer, like it's supposed to be sleep
Mhm.
directly in Tibet.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
You decided the word was wrong. You
Yeah,
decided the translation, so you got to ignore the sloth word.
It is, yeah, it is.
Should be sleep.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that's Richard asking.
Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
Okay.
a meaning in English that is not sleep.
Mhm.
Because you're awake and you're
Mhm.
not doing anything, you're slow.
Okay.
motivation, So
Mhm.
they are different.
I think the fuzziness was you were describing as laxity.
Yeah.
Relaxity, okay.
And
Yeah, definitely it should be put here sleep instead of sloth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Geshe. I have
Yeah.
dull faculties. That's why I didn't remember. And these guys, they have sharp faculties. And they have sharp faculties. They remembered. Okay, this is good. Thank you very much, everyone.
Just put in the right effort and you'll be able to.
I try. It just takes me longer, very long.
Yeah.
He asked a question that I had a long time ago.
Uh-huh.
Someone cleared it up for me. Are you there, Richard?
He can really.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were talking about the 5 hindrances.
Uh-huh.
Desire, ill will, laziness and sloth, excitement and laxity, and doubt. So I didn't understand laxity for a very long time.
I see.
Until someone explained. Laxity is lack of focus. It is an excited lack of focus. It doesn't imply sloth or lazy or slow anything. It's literally just like scattered mind. But that's why it's categorized with excitement. It's not the same as sloth or lazy. It sounds like in English language, I think mostly because of relax and slack. Those words just sound, but I couldn't figure it out until someone explained, no, it's just a fuzziness, a lack of focus. It is the form of excitement. So I don't know if that helps, Richard, but.
Okay.
Yeah, that helps very much. Actually, I think it's the other end of the spectrum of excitedness when you're looking at the 5 faults of meditation. So laxity and excitedness will be 2 ends of the spectrum, and you look for the middle to have neither in the 5 faults of meditation. But I think you're describing similar. Yeah.
They are categorized together, though. They are one fault. Excitement and laxity is under one.
Oh, okay. So laxity, the Tibetan word is Jingwa. Jingwa is, similarly that when you meditate and then there are no distraction, right? The mind is not clear. As you said, it's not focused. Yeah, that's Lamrim gives a lot of detail on it, the laxity mind. Yeah. Okay. So here's like some additional cost for laziness. Let's say the cost of laziness for the postponing, the laziness of postponing is like that. I think the postponing laziness and then the sloth are the same cause that watching TV and just relaxing, right? And
postponing is like procrastination.
Yeah, you're not doing right now. You would want to do tomorrow. It is caused by this. Yeah, you're relaxing is caused. You're relaxing. You say, I wanted to relax today, right? So the relaxing and those are the cause you have that postponing laziness because that it's also the cause for the laziness of sloth, right? Don't want to do anything like that. And then laziness of clinging the meaningless. Here says like a desire to sleep, having strong desire to sleep, right? We have a desire to sleep because it's enjoy. I want to sleep again and again. Desire to sleep, and then too much desire for like eating food.
Doesn't that here imply the clinging to worldly activities is a form of laziness?
Worldly activities is like not suitable. Because worldly activity has some good things. Therefore, instead of worldly activities, I use the meaningless, right? So worldly activities could be the meaningful. Regarding what, even like we are like related with the goal of happiness, worldly activities bring you some happiness, right? So it's not that it's difficult to count it that every worldly activity is laziness. If like your goal is nirvana and Buddhahood, then I can say yes, the worldly activities is the obstacle, right? So, but if your goal is just happiness in this lifetime, then meaningless is better than worldly activities. You are clinging on meaningless, right? So, and then the laziness of discouragement is that saying that you are not really thinking. The firstly, you are not thinking your own. You're not knowing that your own capacity. That's one thing, and also you're not knowing that there are like their scholar and like a practitioner, how they attain their goal and how they achieve their good qualities, not knowing that. If you look at more, look at that way, then you will find it. If you work hard, right? If you work hard, then you can do everything. So, like I say, reading biography of author, you're not knowing in generally how people are developing it. So, or not knowing even yourself that qualities, your own qualities, that are cause you have that laziness of discouragement, right? Okay, so I'm skipping those calls are okay. Shantideva line says laziness arises from not wearing of samsaric pain, from craving sleep and savoring the pleasure of being savoring. Okay, from craving sleep and savoring and pleasure of being indolent. What's it? Indulgent. INDOLENT.
Which translation are you reading?
The pleasure of being indolent, right? Yeah. So this is again the cause, and then we don't have to say about the fault of laziness, because we know the is not completing anything, not successful, and not completing anything in this life, or not gaining anything. Those are the fault of having laziness, right? So yeah, this is the part of laziness. Just what is the definition of laziness? How many type of laziness there? What are the cause of laziness? So okay, I'll cover that. And so now the antidote, the second line saying, and strive always with joyful perseverance. Again, what is the antidote? What is the definition? And then how many type of there? And then how we can build it up. So instead of definition of these things, I can talk more like how we can build it up, the joyful perseverance, right? Joyful effort. Shantideva has some different idea, and some mind training has to give some different idea. Lamrim has a different idea to bringing joyful perseverance, as well like what called Maitreya Buddha has also some idea there on his Uta. What called Uta is the middle from the extreme, or differentiating the middle of experience. That's also mentioned in Lamrim, right? This one idea there, some mind trainings idea there. Shantideva have idea, as well as Lamrim. So the first talks the idea, which is from the what's it? Differentiating the middle from the extreme. On this text says your in generally the last time look, Richard mentioned it, that fivefold and eight what called fivefold and eight antidote, I think. Yeah, 8 antidotes. So within 8 antidote, the first 4 antidote is directly telling us how to develop our joyful effort. So it says your trust is the first. Your trust is the first, right? Build up the trust first. They said it. Then it will lead you have aspiration. Once you have an aspiration, then you will have a joyful effort. So basically, this is the idea saying that to build up the trust first. Anything that you want to be to have joyful effort. But here, joyful effort, tsundu in Tibetan, right? And then generally work hard. We have a different definition for that. Tsundu, which is mentioned in 6 perfections, joyful effort, translated as a joyful effort, and another like a work hard or enthusiastic. Enthusiastic is, enthusiastic, work hard, and tsundu, joyful effort. We define different. So something that you have work hard in meaningless, we are not counted as a joyful effort, right? Something that you have an enthusiastic for meaningless, again, we not counted as a joyful effort. So joyful effort has to have the observed on virtuous action, either like a futures your virtues or present virtues. There's only these 2 object is the joyful efforts object. It has to be virtue, only virtues, right? And then virtue, the past, future, present, only the future and present virtue. That's the joyful effort, right? So you are having joy with your past virtues, we not call joyful effort, we call rejoicing, right? The past we call rejoicing it. So therefore, only that virtue which is present or future, you're observing the virtues, the present and future, and try to get it. That is the joyful effort, the definition. So therefore, every work hard is not counted as joyful effort. So this is 2 different. Work hard could be the any non-virtue, virtue, any could be the any deeds, right? So as well as like enthusiastic, the object of enthusiastic could be the anything, the non-virtuous deeds or virtuous action, and could be anything. But here, joyful effort, or here translated as joyful perseverance, the basically Tibetan word tsundu. Tsundu is only which work hard, observe to the virtuous action, which is present and future. That's a tsundu, right?
Richard's name is Lobsang Sondu.
Yeah. Yeah, his name is Lobsang. That's true. Oh, yeah.
Who is that?
Naisha.
Oh, it sounded like somebody I know called Lobsang Wusul.
Okay, so this is like an idea from Maitreya Buddha. His text, the call differentiate in the middle from the extreme. Say, okay, first build up the trust, right, and then aspirations comes. Okay. Then always I'm adding here, when I look at the trust, how I can build up the trust is not naturally comes. Again, trust also I have to build it up. So then I can see that study is the cause for having trust. And then again, I'm lazy, right? I'm lazy. I don't want to do study more. Then there are no cause for having trust. And then I can say interesting, right? Your interesting brings you the study more, and that you have trust, faith. And again, interesting needs something that build me interesting, right? Because I don't have interest for meditation, or I don't have interest for learning Buddhism, right? Or I don't have interest for learning like all this mental factor and so on. I have no interest. So that easily give up. And you need something for build up interesting. And then so far, my perspective to the cause for interesting is seeing the valuable. You need to see something that you don't have an interest, which someone describing is meaningful or very useful, but you don't have an interest. then good thing that you can analyze more, find it out the benefit for doing this and for not doing this. Then you will see that's valuable. When you see the valuable, and then it brings you interesting. Once you're interesting there, then it causes you have a study and having trust. Then aspiration will be automatically there. So, and then again, you might ask that the how I can make it valuable, how I can see the benefit. Then really work hard. You need to work hard. That's it. That's all. you need attention. You need to work hard, and then examine it, find it more fault and benefit, doing or not doing, and that's cause you have interesting. That's so from my understand. Maybe you might find another way to find interesting, right? So
I'm sorry, just linguistically, are you saying interesting or entrusting?
Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So something that you have interest in.
Yes. Yes.
Sorry,
Yeah.
that's
That's true. Yeah. So yeah, that's something interesting because here's a faith and aspirations comes and joyful effort comes, right? But when I look at the faith, it still needs something there, and it still needs something there up to the seeing value. That's the we should begin it. Then even know interesting on learning in meditation, then you learn more about meditation. But still, as well, I'm now interesting. I don't want to learn it. Then why you not take time for find it out how much benefit there to doing meditation, right? So you spend your time instead of just hanging or having idle gossip, right? Spend your time, that time you use for little bit research the benefit and fault of doing meditation and not doing meditation. So then finding more and more, that it brings you some kind of interest. That's the Maitreya Buddha's idea. And Shantideva ideas, they say the full power, right? Again, I don't have his line here. It's the power of Milpa is kind of like aspiration, power of aspiration, power of framing, and power of joy, and power of resting. So that's kind of full power. If you wants to know more detail about that, then Shantideva takes 7 chapters. All the 7 chapters are talks about joyful effort, and then it's give a lot of details. So generally, this idea from Shantideva text, okay, and then it's important, interesting here, saying resting is also the power for having joyful effort, right? So, on the other hand, resting is cause for laziness that we talk, right? Relaxing and resting. But Shantideva say resting is like the power that brings you joyful effort. So it's contradictory, looks like contradictory, right? But actually it's not. What it really means, relaxing and resting cause you laziness is like too much, right? And then resting means it needs some kind of different way to rest. Rest is not just fully relaxed. It's not fully relaxed, right? Resting is say you're reading book and you're tired, and then you think it's good to rest. I'm taking rest 5 minutes. I'm taking rest 10 minutes. That kind of intention needed. So otherwise, I'm taking rest forever, then it's cause for laziness, right? I'm taking rest 10 minutes, I'm taking rest like 1 hour, then go back to reading book. So that kind of resting we needed. Whatever you do, like a meditation or study or contemplating, whatever you do, the resting is important because this is our condition of body and mind. It necessarily need a rest, right? So, but not the fully resting. So not do the fully resting, right? So always intended before you rest. Okay, as my conditional body and mind, I need to rest, and then takes a little bit, they take off, and then going back read book, or going back meditation, or so on, so on. So that's kind of intention you needed when you take resting. So, and then more detail, you go back to Shantideva text, okay, 7th chapter, just for power. This is the idea for bringing joyful effort. And the Lamrim, bringing joyful effort and overcome to laziness, is thinking death impermanent, isn't it? The thinking death impermanent and thinking human leisure and opportunity, right? So thinking human leisure and opportunity let you overcome by laziness of discouragement, because you have a quality, you knows that I have a quality, right? And then also it lets you brings the overcome by laziness of what called I think sloth. So these two because it brings you that kind of joyful effort. And then thinking that impermanent is let you overcome by another two laziness, which is two laziness of postponing, because I don't have a time. Time is never know when you're going to die, right? I should do now. This is one kind of overcome by laziness of postponing. And then also it let you overcome by laziness of oh, I see. The thinking the human leisure opportunity is let you overcome by two laziness, which is like the discouragement and clinging on the meaningless, because you see the quality what you have it, right? So you see your potential and you see your qualities which you can do something, then you will not really clinging on the meaningless, more duper meaningful. Then the thinking that impermanent is let you overcome by two other laziness, which is laziness of postponing and laziness of sloth, right? So do it and do it now, that kind of things. So because of time, death of time is uncertain. So that's kind of things. And then this is one idea to how to bring joyful and overcome by laziness. And then one idea from general many mind trainings talks, there are three parts. It's a three idea. So the first one say your aim should be the long distinction. It's not like a temporary. Your aim should be the long, maybe after 10 years, right? Or like after 3,000, the 3 eons, right? The Buddhahood, that kind of your aim or goal should be the long terms. But also you should know that everything what you have to do to reach your goal, all right? And then adding that resting top that. So these three ideas to develop your joyful effort, right? So 4 ideas actually, basically. So now don't ask what else. So because one of these four idea must be worked, right? Is but very much depend on how you can use it, right? So this is 4 idea how do you can develop the joyful effort and overcome by laziness. Okay, so this is the strive always with the joyful perseverance. That means that. Okay. So next, I'm going to move the next line. We say with mindful awareness and heedfulness.
Can I bring up a trust?
Sorry?
Can I bring up the topic of trust before we move on?
Trust? Yeah.
Yeah, you brought up a trust. To build up trust would be to
I see. Okay.
incorporate study.
Uh-huh.
So you mentioned studying would build on trust. What about as far as practice goes? How do you build trust in practice? Would practice just build up trust?
Possible. You take the practice as an examination, it could be build up the trust, yeah. Because the practice
Okay,
as
so
like you are practice as like a finalist. I don't know how much it's helped you to because your trust is already there. It could be the blunt trust. It could be the cause you to fail to complete. So if you try like practice as examinations, then because you are in the middle, then you're looking it. So that could be brings you trust, same as I study.
So if I struggle with practice, I need to study more? So
Definitely.
practice is showing where I'm at.
Yeah. So the study, no question actually. The no question here, definitely study more, right? And then plus the practice will help you better bring trust because you're not just listening from others, you just do more, you are experimental, right? So it's better help. But without study, the practice is not really helpful. Do you have this
Okay, great.
like a recent I sent which is the Sakyapantita's good saying in our Google like a WhatsApp? You have that? Can you read that? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, one of the Sakya Pandit, he's treasure of what call treasure of good advice, mentioning the how important study and examinations are.
So which section?
It's you are looking at the WhatsApp, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It has a four.
There is no need to study if you meditate. Is said.
Oh yeah, from there you can read from there. Yeah.
There is no need to study if you meditate. Is said by fools with little intelligence. Without study, mere meditation, even done assiduously, is the way to be reborn as an animal.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah.
That's the last paragraph. And then before that, it says, having seen that some are fools in this life because they did not study in prior lives, study hard in this life, even though it is difficult. Out of fear, you will be born a fool in your next life.
Yeah. This is really logic, good logic there, right? Is that treasure of good advice?
It's a book like this, it's one of them.
Yeah. You might have it, the wisdom of everyday Tibetan book. You have that, right? Yeah, in there it's tough.
That series has a lot of overlapping.
Yeah.
It's in this.
And also, I didn't found it. He also mentioned that without study, meditation is like a climbing. The who is armless wants to climbing on rock, right? This is also mentioned it.
This is wisdom and method, yeah.
Yeah.
It must have both.
Must have both. Must have both. Yeah. So, is this help, Jeff?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So next time I can request you read the Shantideva text, the 4th chapter and 5th, because the mindfulness and awareness, very clear detail there. So then we don't have to talk again. So which is not mentioned there, we can cover it, right? So
4 and 5.
yeah, 4 and 5. Yeah. The 4 talks maybe talks more the mindfulness, and then the next one is awareness and heedfulness. All talks there, right? So if you read it, then you can bring more better discussion, and then yeah, better question also. Okay.
Sorry,
So,
excuse me. Excuse me, just
go ahead, please.
Yeah, which Shanti Deva book are you talking about?
Bodhisattva Way of Life.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah.
And are you saying chapters 4 and 5 or verses 4 and 5 in chapter 7, or what are you saying to read in Shantideva? Because we couldn't hear the person who was talking in the back.
Chapter 4 and 5 for next Sunday.
Great. It's interesting, while you were talking, it seemed to me the story of Chudapantaka, the story is very much about someone who is maybe not a sharp mind, who did achieve. And I find that very encouraging, because I often think of myself as not sharp mind. And so this was very interesting. Do you want to talk about Chudapantaka a little bit, or is that?
Who knows? Chipal, you can talk it.
I don't know if I'm going to really project.
Yeah.
Chudapantaka was the younger brother of Mahapantaka. Both of these people are two of the 16 arhats. Mahapantaka means great road. Chudapantaka is small road. Mahapantaka was regarded as someone who was very sharp faculties, like things came effortlessly to him. Chudapantaka was like regarded as just like someone of extremely low intelligence. He just couldn't remember anything. It was just regarded as probably in our society would be like close to borderline like retarded or just very low IQ. And so he still had some kind of faith in the Dharma, and his brother ordained as a monk, so he thought that he should too. And the Mahapantaka, still everything came very easily to him. He attained arhatship relatively quickly, but Chudapantaka couldn't memorize any verses. Nothing came easy to him at all. So eventually the Buddha told him, just memorize, this. So I want you to sweep. I want you to sweep, and I want you to try to remember the verse, sweep dust, clean stains. And eventually it took him some work, but he could memorize just this. And he would do this, I don't remember for how long, but he did it for quite some time. And then eventually he had some kind of realization that this wasn't just like, sweep dust, clean stains. This wasn't just like ordinary dust and stains. Then he was thinking, oh, this is actually, the dust and stains on my mental consciousness and how to actually clear them. And so eventually he attained arhatship based on just memorizing this small verse, and achieved something very great despite being someone of extremely low intelligence. So it just kind of was born from there through the blessing of Buddha Shakyamuni. He was able to do this through his own efforts. So something very inspiring for anybody, any level of intelligence. You can do it. Yeah, very inspirational story.
Yeah, the basically connection is like doing this is purifying your negative deeds are, right? That's once you purify negative deeds, that brings you more mind, more clear. So this is the idea. Therefore, the 2 line, it takes time almost like 3 months to memorize the 2 lines. So after you memorize, you do it. Like then after that, he talks the meaning of the 2 line more than 3 months. That much he knows after that. Yeah. So yeah, okay. Anyhow, so as we talking here, Joe, for reference laziness, what we mentioned in Lamrim Shantideva text, I try not repeat it here, a lot of things, right? So I just reference to you that read this book and that book to understand better, because repeating a lot, I know someone will be like boring. It's funny for me, right? So when I take like someone like the boring that which they hear again, and when I check how come they're boring, they knows the meaning or what makes them boring, I examine it actually, right? I'm not saying 100%, because I examine with 1 or 2 people, And then they do not know actually. When I ask again, oh, what is this? Instead of like I'm saying it, oh, what is joyful reference? They do not know. They do not know, right? What makes things boring then? Even they do not know, but what makes things boring? The boring that, oh, that word I hear it. Only the reason that I hear this, that makes it boring. So actually, once you hear it, and then you will not know, better hear it again, right? This is how my story with the Rinpoche, I mentioned one time earlier, right? So I'm impatient to listening whole Rinpoche's answer. It takes a long time. Rinpoche is very slow talk, right? Then finally I'm saying, oh, Rinpoche, okay, I will find it out. The impatient. I'm doing 1 time this, 2 times this, 3 times this. And then one time I go to Rinpoche, ask question. Rinpoche answer way beginning is, I don't know. It means not really that he don't know. He know I'm impatient. Better say, I don't know. Actually, I lost. Nothing. I nothing gain it. I lost it, right? I do more patient, then he will explain. And his explain is really sink to my mind. It's not just educationally, right? It's really go to heart. Even he talks slow, every his like answers go to heart instead of like a just brain, right? Anyhow, so but as being in patience, the finally he said, I don't know. Simply saying I don't know. So next time say I don't know, and then I have to bring back him to ask something, right? Okay, how about this one? Then I say I'm snaking that. Let him say something, right? So otherwise, then I know that when I grow up, I know that, oh, I'm losing actually. So I should do more patience, listening to Rinpoche answers, right? Then I changed my perspective and being pure patience and listening. I just keep up, okay, 1 hour, okay, right? So, and then listening, it's a lot of help. So, and then also Rinpoche repeat a lot the words, and sometimes repeating is actually helping, because the first moment he said it, I catch up the 50%, not catch up the 50%. He repeating it helped me to catch up another 50%, right? So this is how I learn with Rinpoche and my experience, just sharing you. The who is boring then. Okay. So thank you so much. Any question you have, General? Any question? Okay, if you don't have a question, then I'm going to stop here. I have a next class today. So have a wonderful day. Yeah.
Thank you, Geshe.
Thank you.
Geshe.
Bye-bye.